Music is not just about the sensation, it's about the content. In this semester, I continued my research in graphic design in the music industry. However, this time, my focus has now shifted onto music videos. The music video is a significant and interesting art form of contemporary popular culture, one of which is widely circulated, complex, and important. When you watch a music video, you are watching a visual representation of that song. It's a chance to experiment and push boundaries, to really connect to an audience and bring meaning to the sound. So I want to understand these different methods of visual storytelling and see if I can create my own music video for a particular tune to amplify the experience when listening to it. My research began by looking at the different codes and conventions which I use to convey the meaning of a song. They vary depending on what type of video it is. Perhaps the most common type is a narrative style, which tells the story logically or sequentially through a chain of events that are put together to run parallel to each other. The storyline can be relatable and influences people to watch it until the final outcome. If I Were a Boy was a 2008 hit song by Beyoncé. We all know how it goes. But the music video is a perfect example of a narrative typology that coincides with the song lyrics. It shows the story of how men and women are portrayed differently in relationships and how men don't understand women's feelings. It is relatable to women who are going through heartbreak and therefore attracted huge attention because the song has a meaning which the audience can relate their situation to. The black and white filter makes the film more dramatic and portrays a sad and gloomy image. Her message in the video was so powerful, yet was portrayed through simple shots and scenes, which offers personal identity and directs the emotions of the audience. Next, you have performance videos, which mainly focus on the musician plainly performing either on their own or in front of a crowd. It offers no particular storyline, just a collection of camera angles and movements of the band members. This is particularly popular amongst rock artists and often seen in pop style videos. Concept videos, based around one idea but lacks a coherent narrative. They usually include weird and shocking imagery, which makes them more memorable and unique. You know the kind of video that just makes you think, what the hell did I just watch? They will tell a story just in a way less obvious way that doesn't even have to make sense, maybe through metaphors which are open to interpretation, but manage to cultivate an overarching vibe. This technique is loved by indie artists, however they're fairly expensive and hard to make, most being done with editing and special effects. A great example of a concept performance combined style video is Kendrick Lamar for his song Humble. In the video, Lamar is depicted performing the song in multiple locations and is continuously singing. The video is packed with visual effects, contributing to an overwhelming set of visuals to keep the audience locked in and entertained. One notable shot in the video is one that uses the so-called glitch effect, where the camera appears to shake erratically while continuing Lamar's movements. Each shot is interesting and non-conventional, and it's obviously considered a non-linear storyline to match each lyric of the song independently. Lamar was able to experiment and express himself in a unique way. It almost certainly amplified the viewer's experience and therefore bond with the song. Everyone understands the concept of a lyrics video. What better way to communicate a message visually than to literally flash words all over the screen? It's a budget-friendly and easy technique to do to build popularity quickly. However, they have a negative reputation of being less creative as they don't technically show a story and so the viewers are less actively engaged. Lastly, you have animated music videos, which refers to the use of cartoon-like figures or stop animation. They can express an unlimited mind as you're not bound by capturing real-life limitations like locations, gravity, weather, etc. And it's becoming more and more popular in the post-pandemic shadow. Although this method was popularised in the 1930s by animators such as Norman McLaurin. His work is about dancing geometric shapes and abstract forms spinning around a flat featureless background. They have a mesmerising elegance to them. In his 1938 short, An Optical Poem, circles pop, sway and dart across the screen. You can see it as attempting conveying the mental images of music into a visual form that not only entertains the audience but also engages more of a connection to the sound itself. I am drawn to animation. Works by the likes of Lan Lai, for example, best known for his abstract animated sequences to convey a body energy, underlined by their jazz soundtracks. He spent his whole career experimenting and attempting to compose motion. He urged all animators to be free radicals and considered that no video is ever great unless it was made in the spirit of an experimental filmmaker. Take a look at his film Kaleidoscope 1935 and how it brings the jazz to life and makes you feel the sounds as if they were right there in front of you. This is where I drew inspiration for my music video. My music video is a collection of abstract shapes which shuffle and glide into life, jumping in and out of existence with a playful and sinuous rhythm. I wanted it to be instantly appealing and capture the mental images of the instruments and melodies I was hearing, to hopefully resonate with an audience. The chosen song is almost melancholic, yet had bursts of soothing sounds which were represented by the different colours and sizes of the shapes. My main intention of the music video was to create a visual narrative to a piece of jazz music, to guide feelings and communicate a sense of calm and harmony that the song itself suggests. So to really get into the mind of jazz, my process included finding a nice spot, sticking in my earphones and absorbing the music. I sketched some shapes and colours as I listened to try and picture how the sounds made me feel and what I thought the music was telling me. I tried not to overthink it, I just went with the flow. I do believe I was able to create a somewhat amusing video that coincides with the aesthetics of the song. However, due to my lack of appreciation for animation and the time it takes to actually produce, I felt almost impatient and so limited in the potential it had. I would have to visualise an idea in my head, dissect it into parts, and then draw for over 100 frames to complete only a handful of seconds. Often the ideas wouldn't turn out as smooth, or I'd miss the rhythm of the music slightly, or it just purely looked crap, and I'd have to delete, reassess, and try again, only this time with more aggravation. On the other hand, I do really enjoy the look of animation for jazz music in particular, and I think the movement of the shapes really worked well with the tune, and the colours would also speak for the instruments. So overall, I feel it did elicit similar feelings as the song, and would enhance the listener's experience. After finishing this project and doing the research, I certainly feel more intrigued by this method of communication and would love to continue in this direction going forward. In conclusion, there are many ways to cultivate a vibe from a song in visual form, but that depends on the type of song it is and what it intends to communicate. The music video offers an alternative tool of expression, a canvas for artists to experiment and tell a story as a means for strengthening the appeal to viewers and an overall connection to the music.